Hello everyone, this is Dr. Kalpana and you're watching my YouTube channel Pharmacy Lessons Made Easy. Today we shall be discussing another question which has been asked in the previous GPAT exams. The question is, which of the following are the critical neurotransmitters playing major role in depression? I am repeating, which of the following are the critical neurotransmitters playing major role in depression? Now, to understand this question, we must have a bit idea of depression in terms of the neurotransmitters. So, we must first understand the term neurotransmitter and which neurotransmitters are responsible for depression. Then we'll be able to reach to the answer of this question. The options that are available for this multiple choice question are: first is acetylcholine, norepinephrine and dopamine. Second option, dopamine, norepinephrine and serotonin. Third option is serotonin, dopamine and GABA, that is gamma aminobutyric acid. Option 4 is acetylcholine, serotonin and GABA. GABA is gamma aminobutyric acid, right? So these four options are available and we have to choose the right answer. So what are neurotransmitters? Actually they are nothing but the chemical messengers in the brain. Okay, the three neurotransmitters are there for depression, and basically the chemical structure or their category is monoamines. They communicate with each other, they have a role in the mood regulations, right? So this is how actually the neurotransmitters work. These nerve cells actually, it is a diagram which is being showing the neurotransmitters working. The space between these two nerves, nerve A and nerve B, is called the synapse. This region is called the synapse. When the cell want to communicate, okay, one cell want to communicate with the second cell, the neurotransmitters which are being shown in the pockets here, they can be packaged up and released at the end of the presynaptic cell. Okay, first one is called the presynaptic one, and the next one is called the postsynaptic cell, because middle portion is called the synapse. Okay, middle portion is called the synapse. If I show you here, this portion is called the synapse, this one is the presynaptic one, this is the postsynaptic one. Okay, so when this cell 1 wish to communicate with this cell, nerve cell, so what they will do, they will if they want to communicate with each other, so what they will do, they will release these neurotransmitters in packaged form. These are the kind of packages. Okay, so they will get released near this place. Okay, at the end, this end portion is called the axon. Okay, this portion will be called as axon, so of the presynaptic cell. So as this packet of neurotransmitter crosses the space, it can be taken up by the receptor for a specific chemical on the postsynaptic cell. So this one, these are the receptors which are present on the postsynaptic part. Okay, postsynaptic nerve cell. This is also called dendrite. For example, serotonin receptor will take serotonin molecules, dopamine receptor will take dopamine molecules. Okay, so that way, this is how the neurotransmitter will actually be the media of communication among the nerve cells. Okay, if there is any extra amount of molecules which are present in the space, the presynaptic cell, first one, will take them back up and again process them. Okay, these one to use for the next communication. Okay, so that way this cycle will be going on. Okay, so each and every neurotransmitter, they have a very different and a unique message, and they play a role in the brain chemistry of any individual. Okay, so if there is any imbalance in these chemicals or neurotransmitter that can contribute to the mental health conditions. One such mental health condition is depression. Okay, so the three major neurotransmitters which are responsible for depression are serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. Okay, so let's have a look on these three as an individual. If we talk about in terms of their sequence, then we shall give the first priority to norepinephrine. Okay, so norepinephrine is what? It's a neurotransmitter. It is also a hormone. It is also known for its fight or flight response. Okay, along with adrenaline. So this will actually help to send or to communicate from one nerve cell to the next nerve cell. Okay, so norepinephrine is a brain chemical of interest for depression. And one scientist in 1960, Joseph Scott, he suggested the hypothesis related to mood disorders. He said that catecholamines are basically responsible for these mood disorders. It's a category of chemicals, catecholamines. So, depression, as proposed by the scientist, occurs due to deficiency of norepinephrine in some brain circuits. And if there is excess of the neurotransmitter norepinephrine in the brain, it may result in the condition known as mania. Okay, so there are certain evidences which support this hypothesis. Next one is, no, it's already proven that not only norepinephrine which is responsible for such depressive activity, but another hormone or neurotransmitter that is called serotonin. This neurotransmitter serotonin is feel good chemical. That means it has a very important role to regulate your mood, and another different jobs in the body like sexual functions and blood clotting, and proper functioning of gut. So that way serotonin is useful. So as far as its role in depression is concerned, serotonin in the past 2 decades have been taken as a center stage to the medications like fluoxetine and serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That means the medication specifically acting on the serotonin molecules. Okay, so a permissive hypothesis has also been proposed which suggests that lower serotonin level that allow the level of norepinephrine also to fall down. Okay, but serotonin level can be manipulated indirectly to raise norepinephrine levels. Okay, nowadays newer antidepressant like serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors like venlafaxine, they are available that will target not only norepinephrine but also serotonin. Okay, so a very important and a very common class of antidepressants, that is tricyclic antidepressants, they also act in the same way by affecting both serotonin and norepinephrine. However, they have add-on effect of histamine and acetylcholine. So what happens is they produce these tricyclic antidepressants produces side effects like you'll feel your mouth has dried mouth or dry eyes. There will be a peculiar taste in your mouth. You'll be very much sensitive to light. Your vision will become blurred. You'll experience urinary hesitancy and the constipation. These are some of the symptoms which are associated with tricyclic antidepressants. But on the contrary, if we use selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, they will not affect the histamine and acetylcholine and don't have the same side effects. So many times the question related to the side effects of tricyclic antidepressants has also been asked in the GPAT exams. Okay, so we are done with two neurotransmitters. They are serotonin and norepinephrine. So these two are definitely related to depression. Third one is dopamine. Dopamine has an important role in regulating the mood. It creates positive feeling associated with like reward or motivation for continuation of any task, not only in depression but another conditions related to brain like schizophrenia and Parkinson. Dopamine is believed to play an important part there also. So along with the levels of serotonin and your norepinephrine, dopamine level also is responsible for producing the depression symptoms. Okay, most of the available medications which are used to treat depression can take 6 weeks or more for the treatment. Dopamine production can be stimulated by the drugs like alcohol, opiates, or cocaine. Okay, so when the dopamine reward cycle is activated, okay, then addiction can develop. So that should also be avoided and should not be carried out as there is a high risk for its abusement. Okay, so we are talking about the lower level of the neurotransmitters like serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. What could be the possible cause of imbalance of these neurotransmitter in the brain? It might be the case like molecule that are actually making neurotransmitter like specific enzyme, they are in short supply. Okay, enzyme short supply can be one of the cause of these neurotransmitters to become lesser in quantity. There might be the reason that very few of the molecule can build neurotransmitter. That means not only enzyme but the chemical precursors, they are also one of the reason for its low efficiency or low level in the brain. Okay, next one is the presynaptic cells, which are taking the neurotransmitter back up before it has a chance to reach the receptor cell. So their back entry into the presynaptic cell can be one of the cause of their shortage. They are not enough receptor site. That is also one of the case that the receptors which are where the neurotransmitter has to bind is not available. That's not the number might not be enough. Okay, and it may be the case that the specific neurotransmitter like norepinephrine, serotonin, or dopamine is not being produced at the level which is required. So wherever there is any breakdown in the process, so that will lead to the lower level of the neurotransmitters, specifically serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine, and which results in the condition called depression. So the correct answer for this question is dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. That was the option B available for this particular question. The question was, which of the following are the critical neurotransmitters playing major role in the depression? We have studied thoroughly three different neurotransmitter, and how they are actually involved in the depression. Okay, physiology. So that way we have discussed and finally came to the conclusion that the option B is correct. Hope you people enjoyed this video. Do click on the like button, subscribe my channel, share it on social media, and you can write your suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you. Have a nice day.